It's you. Where are we?
We are here at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, home of the best team in the NFL, the Green Bay Packers.
Well, maybe not the best team in the NFL, but the greatest franchise in the history of the sport.
Yeah.
This is Lambeau Field. It's been the home of the Green Bay Packers now for 63 years.
Wow.
One of the largest stadiums in the NFL, if not the biggest. It is the oldest in continuous use. It is the holy grail of pro football in the United States of America. But it's not where the Green Bay Packers started, as much as more than half of the great history of the greatest franchise in American pro sports arguably is. There's so much more history about this team. We're going to take you on the Packers Heritage Trail.
Yes.
But first, let's get some Packers masks.
Woo!
Now you're good.
Now I'm all Packered out with the Vince Lombardi hat.
Excellent. The Vince Lombardi Cancer Foundation.
Woo.
As it should be. We are at the start of our tour.
Yes.
It's not the starting point of the actual tour itself, but where we're parking. This is a spot where Packers fans used to gather after they would win games on the road. Here where tens of thousands of Green Bay Packers fans would gather after big wins over the Chicago Bears, when the team would grab the train back from Chicago all the way up, and fans would gather and celebrate their return home. In fact, I believe one time they clinched an NFL title in Chicago by beating the Bears. Imagine what that party would have been like.
Yeah. These are where Packers players probably step.
That's where we just were, but now we're actually at the start of the Packers Heritage Trail, which is right on the west bank of the Fox River.
How much Packer stuff do you need in a city?
Even the dinosaur bones, or the fake dinosaur bones, are Packers themed. Very sacred ground.
Sacred ground that I'm stepping on. Wow. Right here is a very historic hotel that has just been refurbished, and it is a part of the Packers' journey, the Hotel Northland. What's so special about it?
For a while, this is where visiting teams used to stay. The Chicago Bears would stay here every year. George Halas and so many of the early Hall of Famers of the Bears would stay here. It's been refurbished into a hotel that would make most places in downtown Chicago proud. 1920s, 1930s Art Deco. This is where Vince Lombardi also made a very critical speech to the team's board of directors and the media to basically tell everyone when he became the Green Bay Packers coach in 1959, I'm in charge. I want it to be understood that I am in complete command. Green Bay was a city of exploration, buddy. We found a spot where, currently a TV station, but it used to be where Packers fans would gather. Is that right? When there were road games?
So when there were road games, I'm pretty sure this is the building when you had road games, most people didn't have radios in the early days of the Packers. So when they were on the road,
you had somebody in there that had a radio. Somehow, I think they had like a line that sent a paper to somebody on controlled the board outside that told everyone what the score was. I'm pretty sure that's how the story goes.
And this is now currently a building of reporters,
Yeah.
TV reporters. This also was a place of a lot of gatherings, especially championship celebrations when Curly Lambeau's Packers won their first 6 NFL titles.
Yep, and here it just talks about exactly. Oh, it was a play-by-play. Yep, here, this is what it says. So, a play-by-play was transmitted by telegraph wire from the site of the game, and then the results were posted here on a large board built in the shape of a football field. So that's how it would work.
And they also had their offices here too.
The first ever Green Bay Packers non-profit stockholder meeting was held right here.
And that's what makes this team more unique than any other franchise in American pro sports, because it's not owned by one owner. It's not a for-profit organization. It is owned by the fans, and the fans don't make any money. All they do is basically donate to the team to own a share of stock for the right to attend the team's annual meeting and vote on the board of directors. Every cent of profit for this team goes right back in to be invested into the team. It's how this team can survive.
That is awesome.
In fact, that's how they can pay players such as Aaron Rodgers the money that he makes and that the other superstars make, and they can pay for $100 million, $200 million renovations of Lambeau Field and not have to have a dime of public dollars to do it. Right over here is another of the spots here on the Heritage Trail. What do we got?
The Bellin Building.
This looks like it, where many of the business leaders known as the Hungry Five had their offices back when they were trying to raise money with stocks in order to keep the team alive at a time when Green Bay was and became the only team that was a small town team in the NFL.
Yeah.
So they probably made a bunch of phone calls, wrote a lot of letters here, and made a lot of hard work to basically knock on everyone's door, essentially, to say, hey, support the Packers, keep them around. And it was because of these men they were able to keep the Green Bay Packers in existence and send it toward the pathway to becoming the finest organization in pro football. Yes, the Green Bay Packers used to have their own band.
That's awesome.
The Lumberjack Band. Let's just say they did not do very much Baby Shark, or Happy, or Taylor Swift.
Oh no, don't get me started on Taylor Swift.
We're not taking you necessarily to every spot on the tour because there are so many that we simply don't have the time to take you to today, but we at least wanted to get you to a whole bunch of them. We'll put in the description a link to the entire tour where there are more than 12.5 spots, I believe, to check out on the Heritage Tour. This is where the original park was for the first home stadium of the Green Bay Packers.
Wow, that's crazy.
It basically was just a baseball field, and a bunch of fans would park their cars, and they just watched their town team play a game. There was no admission charge. Fans would just sort of pass the hat around and raise money for the team.
Awesome.
It was not very big. 3,500 people. Packers won their first NFL game here as well in 1921, beating Minneapolis 7-6. This right here, buddy. Green Bay Packers played at what's now a high school stadium, and what was a high school stadium, 1925 to 1956. This was their home field. East Stadium.
Wow.
Back then just called City Stadium. There are very few still preserved NFL historic stadiums. This is one of them. Imagine on that north sideline, George House prowling along the sidelines, yelling at officials, yelling at his players. And then on the south sideline, Curly Lambeau doing the same thing. Bart Starr had his first start as a starting quarterback here.
Wow.
As a rookie in 1956, he made his first career start.
That is awesome.
Close your eyes and imagine, little buddy, the history that was made in this stadium. You could picture Don Hudson coming towards this east end zone, outrunning defenders, sprinting for an 80-yard touchdown, and totally decimating secondaries and breaking NFL records. They did it right here on that field. How many championships did the Packers win at City Stadium?
Oh, I don't know.
6.
Wow.
Which means they won 7 championships.
Right here. Hey guys, we're here back at Lambeau Field. Just finished up the tour. We didn't go to all the places, but we went to most of them.
We took you to 101 years of the history of the most storied team in the National Football League. And as the Packers say themselves, they like to call it the greatest story in all of sports. How a little small town team in a town of, back then maybe 50,000, now about 100,000, could become the most dominant team in all of the most beloved sport in the United States, American football. It is such an incredible story. Let's say we eat some cheese curds, huh?
Yep. I don't know if he's a Cowboy fan or if he is a Packers fan.
Oh, these Packers fans are green and gold.
But look, it's a Cowboy hat. Hello, I would like to thank everyone for being here today. On behalf of the Green Bay Packers, I would like to say that Lambeau Field is open. This is my friend Willie right here.
Really?
Willie, yeah.
Actually, no. I think this was the starting defensive tackle for the Lions back in the 20s.
Lambeau!